Good morning, gamers. Welcome into the Gamers Roast podcast. I'm your host, Joshua J. Alongside me, Wesley Lance.
Good morning, everyone.
Today is Thursday, September 23rd. I forgot what month. Anyway, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Battlefield getting delayed, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful news. But first, I'm going to start out with the daily grind, just some of the stuff that we have going on around here at the studio. Starting with...
Oh, yeah.
What your girlfriend, one of the listeners of the podcast, decided to create for us. It's a list of all the coffees that we've tried and rated and where their ratings go.
Our definitive ratings.
Exactly. So, as you can tell, the King's Brew is at the bottom because of decaf.
It's not their fault. It's because Martin sold 9-month-old coffee, and I wish you'd stop blaming the decaf.
I'm always going to blame decaf.
I drink decaf coffee all the time, and I quite enjoy it. At 8 p.m. when I want something hot to drink, decaf coffee's perfect. But anyway.
I drink regular coffee at midnight right as I'm laying down to sleep, and it's amazing. So
cool.
I'm
you
not
also
addicted.
like the Java Monster, so...
Hey, I only have the Java Monster. Where is it at? Where's it at? 4. It's at a 4.
I gave it a 2.
I'm just saying a 4 out of 10 is still a failing grade. So,
it is,
you know.
yeah.
But the highest for you is the Black Rifle Coffee Company.
It was
at 8,
really good.
And then I have Kitu and the Dunkin' Donuts Macchiato at 8 for me. So just wanted to show that off. Thought that was really cool.
It's nice to actually have everything in perspective when we're rating things, because sometimes it feels a little arbitrary when we assign things. So to actually see oh yeah, no, I actually really did like that, and like see it in perspective to everything else. It was really helpful. And plus it was just really cute because I walked in and I was like, oh, she made us something. So
it was really nice. So also part of the daily grind, I just want to let everybody know, if you're listening on podcast services, it's not on YouTube, but on podcast services, we have a link below in order to support us.
Woo!
You don't have to. You can if you want to. It's totally up to you guys. But we do have that available now if you would like to support us. If not, I'm perfectly fine with just getting, you guys, rating us, subscribing, leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be amazing. For those on YouTube, we don't have a way to do that unless you were to go to the podcast version. But like, subscribe, comment, we'd love to talk with you guys. I've gotten messages actually from some of you, which is awesome.
yeah.
But yeah, comment on the videos. Let us know what you guys think and what you guys have ideas on coffees you want to try and everything like that. Only if you enjoy it. If you don't, hey, leave it down vote and we'll know we need to change something, or just say don't worry about it.
If you downvote, please tell us why.
Yeah.
Because if you hate something, we want to know so we can not do that thing anymore.
Or do it and just say suck it. We're going to keep going.
Well, tell us your name so we can specifically look in the camera and say, you know what? You. This is despite you.
We don't care about your downvotes. No.
What a way to start out.
All right. Well, you decided to get the coffee for today.
So in honor of 10 episodes, we're doing 2 coffees today. No, actually the story was I did go to the farmer's market. I bought a really nice coffee that we are going to be reviewing. But then later in the day, I was at Aldi and I found something. Michaela and I were shopping and we were like, we have to get this. It's 99 cents. We have to try this. So the first one.
Wait. I want to guess. Because you had mentioned something about it earlier and I don't know what it is. You had mentioned... What did you say?
I said the flavor could easily be seen as a sparkling water.
Okay, so immediately my mind goes to a type of fruit.
You're not far off.
What would be a fruit?
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to say it's going to be either a weird like peach or a lime type of coffee.
Oh, actually you're not. Okay, so you're not far off. So the first coffee is Barissimo Sparkling Cold Brew Cucumber Lime Ginger. Can you see why I could not pass this up? I was walking down the aisle.
I can see how you very easily could pass that up.
Josh, it was calling to me. It was speaking my name. It's saying we have to review this. So also shout out the cashier at Aldi, Tommy, said he would tune in. So if you're listening, thank you, because I mentioned this. He's like, dude, what is this? And I was like, my friend and I have a podcast where we review coffees. He's like, I'm going to have to listen. So if you're listening,
I love how that's just the first 2 minutes of our podcast.
Thank you for, I know. Games, yeah. Thank you for selling me this butte. And this is why I didn't want to open it and pour it, because it's sparkling cold brew.
We review coffees. We drink one coffee at the beginning of every episode.
For 40 minutes.
But hey, if that's all you want to come for, then come for the 5 minutes and then no more.
I had to try this. So we're gonna
Is it fizzing?
Out. Yes, it's sparkling cold brew. It's a sparkling. It's like a sparkling water. That's why I had to try it.
It looks Oh.
I know. Oh, I'm so excited and terrified. Okay, so we got to do two.
This is why I choose the coffees. I had one down week, and now
I've got another one. I got another one that's going to be so much better. So we're gonna.
Oh no!
Oh,
all I'm getting is cucumber.
it smells so bad.
I'm just getting cucumber.
Okay, 3.
This is gonna wait, hold up. This is gonna be worse than the King's Brew.
It actually might. It actually might.
You're like, it's not gonna be that acidic or repulsive.
I thought so. The reason I thought it wouldn't be that as bad as the King's Brew, because the King's Brew just tasted bad. Like it tasted sour. I don't know what I've gotten us into.
I'd almost rather have a pig's foot.
Well, that was the first thing you guessed.
Well, I thought animal feet.
Okay.
I don't know.
We're spending a lot of time on this. Let's just get it over with. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it wasn't that bad at first.
All you got was the sparkling.
All I got was a sparkle and lime and ginger. And then the coffee came in.
And the cucumber. And coffee and cucumber do not go together.
Oh, I'm so glad I did this. It's so bad. Oh.
We have 2 different versions of being glad, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy. It kind of tastes like puke a little bit. Oof.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a 1. That's a 0.5.
Right here.
That is actually worse than
negative.
The expired King's Brew.
We're going in negative. I'd rather take a whole can of the
expired King's Brew, because that still tasted like coffee.
The only thing that this has going for it is the fact that it is it caffeinated?
It's caffeinated. It's got sugar in it.
See, I would drink it if I had to. So actually, I have to put it just above the King's Brew. Solely because it's caffeinated. So I'm going to say I gave King's Brew a half a point. I'm going to give this 0.51.
0.51.
So it's 0.01 better than the King's Brew only because it's caffeinated, and I would drink this over that solely for that reason.
I'm going to put that as a 0. I would rather have the King's Brew. Okay, but that's why I got 2, because
I'd have been sad. I am sad. I'm sad. You made me sad. Congratulations. I'm sorry. It does not give me a good mouthfeel. Okay.
It gave me some kind of mouthfeel.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, this is the real one. I know we spent a lot of time on the coffee of the week. So this one it's Delo's Cafe right here in South Bend. They sell it at the farmers market. This is a frosted pumpkin roll flavored coffee, and this one is also caffeinated.
Smells delicious.
So that's why I went with this, because I was like, I don't want that to be our only coffee, but yeah.
Don't burn your tongue.
So here we go. This is our first brewed coffee, by the way.
Low-key burned my tongue.
Yeah, I did too. Ooh, yeah. There we go. I can take that much more than the cucumber lime.
That is definitely a coffee that you would have on a good October morning.
I want to go buy, I bought a 1/4 pound for this. I might go buy a 1/2 pound just to brew at home.
I was transported to the mountains of Tennessee in late October and sitting out on a porch at 7:30 in the morning as a deer runs by, crinkling on the leaves. So,
we just unlocked Josh's inner Robert Frost, apparently.
That was a very good coffee. Because when a coffee can make you feel like you're somewhere else, that's how you know it's a good taste. That's how you know it's good coffee.
Yeah. I will say, my brother tried this a little earlier, and he said the thing about flavored coffee is he doesn't like it to taste like coffee, and then the flavor comes after. That's very much what this is. It tastes like coffee going down, but then you breathe out, and you've got a little bit of pumpkin. But I don't know.
And that's the thing.
Really
Coffee,
nice.
It gave me the feeling of coffee. So that's where the morning time came from.
Yeah.
And then when I breathed out, it was so fall-ish that it was kind of boom. And that's where my mind went. Tennessee, in a cabin in the mountains and watching wildlife. Anyway, it was great. I would give that, actually, I'm going to put that at 8.5. So
wow, really?
I'm going to rate that as the high. I'm a sucker for hot coffee, especially when it's a chilly morning like it was today.
Yeah. I am always a fan of the actual drinks that we put together, but this one does have a really nice, I don't know. I'd put it at a good 7.5.
7.5?
Not quite up with Black Rifle, because Black Rifle was really robust.
Right,
this is a little, and this could also be, The difference is also I brewed this myself in my coffee pot. So, maybe I got the blend wrong. So I'm giving it a little grace, but I'd give it an easy 7.5. That's really, really nice. And I want to go buy some more now.
Speaking of fall and everything that goes with it, football is one of those times.
Oh, yeah.
And every Thursday I do put in my prediction. I have been wrong on both accounts so far. I'm 0-2. It's great. I'm going to just try not to be like the Bears, who could probably go 1-16 this year. So let's see. I'm going to say the Panthers will beat the Texans 31-21 Thursday night, or tonight, I guess. But I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So 31-21 Panthers over the Texans. I think they'll get it done.
I'm surprised you do as well as fantasy football as you do, considering your predictions are usually off.
Well, fantasy football is, which I'm 2-0 by the way. So with fantasy football, it's a lot more about what players you think are going to perform well.
I guess that's a little easier to
And when you have Tom
predict.
Brady as your QB and Travis Kelce as your tight end, it's really difficult to screw up. They are amazing players and just both GOATs at their position. So, not that kind of GOAT.
Sorry. Every time I hear somebody say that, I don't think greatest of all time. I think, meh.
All right,
Anyway.
well, let's start out now with moving on from that.
That coffee gave us some kind of chaotic energy. I don't know. I think it unlocked the spirit of Loki within me. I don't know what's going on.
So I saw your roast of the week, and I'm kind of concerned and a little bit bummed that this is going to be a roast.
I am too, because roast of the week has to do with Deathloop. And I know I talked about how interested I was in Deathloop. But apparently, this is an article on Game Rant by Andrew Paul Heaton. The headline is Deathloop PC issues may be linked to frame rate and using a mouse on a PC game. Okay, so to give a little context, Deathloop has been getting a lot of praise for its gameplay, but a lot of backlash because the PC version has been having some major frame drops. And at first, a lot of people thought it was the DRM they were using, Denuvo, and Denuvo has been blamed for a lot of PC game problems in the past. It hasn't been definitively linked to anything. Denuvo denies that it has any performance drops, but several games have dropped using DRM because of that. But then Denuvo, let me see here. Alexander Battaglia, on Twitter says there is no direct evidence at the moment in all my testing that there is micro stuttering / that Denuvo is at fault for anything. There is issue though with something that looks like stutters, but it's not actually performance related. So it's been discovered that actually the problem is with the frame rate that people had Deathloop set to run at. They said that keeping it at, if you run it between 60 and 90 FPS, you're going to get stuttering. But they say if you bump it up to 100 to 120, most of that is resolved. However, a bug in Deathloop was noticed. Wait, sorry, that's player progress. Also, people are losing their progress with Deathloop.
Oh, crap.
Yeah,
that's like the worst thing to have in the game.
People have noticed that the jittering issues are recurring when players are using a mouse rather than a controller, which I don't. And so I always feel a little dumb roasting.
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. I thought you said Mouster Race for a second.
Sucks to be
I
you.
always feel a little bit weird doing these roasts of the week and roasting game developers because I know jack squat about game dev and I don't know how difficult it could possibly be to develop a game. However, how do you release a game for PC where using a mouse causes the frame rate to stutter?
Because it's mainly for PlayStation 5 console.
I guess so. I guess they really optimized it for controller, but you're releasing it on PC. How do you make it that the main way people control PC? I guess controllers are being used more and more for PC games, but like it's a PC. It's keyboard and mouse, especially FPSs with PC. Like keyboard and mouse, people swear by that as the top way to play an FPS. And using a mouse makes it stutter. And I don't understand how Bethesda did that.
They claim it's the best because they have accuracy. PCs are only good for doing your taxes. That's it.
Why are you so on the Steam Deck though?
Because the Steam Deck
is a PC.
But it's a handheld playing with controller type of.
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess you can hook up. I think you.
You can do your taxes on the Steam Deck too. But I'm just saying, like, it's more of a Switch type
Yeah, it
controller made for that type of a deal.
I would like to get a PC at some point in my life. I don't really have $1,200 to drop on one right now.
The only thing PCs are good for are taxes, and I'll give you guys these games. The strategy, like Civilization games, playing those with controllers is a lot more difficult than playing them on PC.
I see, but the problem is you can use a controller for PC, so you can get the best performance on any game that you on Horizon Zero Dawn on a PC if you shell out the cash.
Lame.
But that's the problem is you have to shell out the cash.
Lame.
Okay. Well, either way,
as you can tell, I stand by console. Well, I always stand by the console.
As you can tell, my family has lived and died on this hill for 5 generations back when we built consoles out of sticks and mud in the Tennessee mountains drinking our frosted pumpkin roll coffee as the deer go over. Wow. Woo. I think I just channeled.
Bring it back to earth, bud.
Woo. Sorry. Like I said, Spirit of Loki with that stupid lime. Woo. I feel weird today, ladies and gentlemen.
Well.
Wow.
I will die on the hill of the console.
I apologize. I don't know where that came from. I have family that is from the Tennessee mountains, and I guess my background came back. Woo! Anyway, Bethesda, fix your PC issues so that people can play Deathloop with a keyboard and mouse and not stutter. What are we talking about today? I feel like I need to stop talking.
No, so that's the roast of the week. You good with that?
That's the roast of the week.
That's where it was supposed to start. No, so going on to topic number 1 then of what we want to talk about is Battlefield 2042 getting delayed. It got delayed to November 2019. Oh gosh.
November 2019. It got delayed backwards.
See, that coffee screwed me up too. It got delayed to November 19th, not 2019. So only a few weeks. They need to fix some bugs, fix a few things. That's what they learned in the alpha test. Not like they let everyone who they invited in and stuff. I'm just going to leave that there.
Wow.
So they delayed only a few weeks because they really need some time to work on it, which I'm okay with.
Just polish it up a little bit.
Right. I'd rather them, delaying a game has never really hurt them in terms of, okay, so when a game gets delayed and they work on it more, obviously it's going to be better than it was when it came out. Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect like we've seen with Cyberpunk. But when they do delay it and get it right, it's definitely going to be better than if they would have released it when they did.
Right. Again, to quote Shigeru Miyamoto, a rushed game is always going to be a bad game, but a delayed game could eventually be a great one.
Right.
I think that's Shigeru Miyamoto. I heard it once, and I'm just going to keep quoting it until I die.
Early access has also stayed the same in terms of being a week before.
Yeah.
So November 12th, early access for all of you who purchased the $89.99 or the $129.99, I believe, version.
Yeah, something like that.
If you purchase the regular version, they say screw you. And
you didn't give us $10 extra of your hard-earned money. You don't get the privilege to play this game a week in advance.
Exactly. They're like, nope, you can't do it.
Is that the only advantage of buying that version?
The gold edition? I think it comes with some like skins or something like that.
Okay, that's
it comes with a little bit more. But you do, however, get to play the beta, which they have yet to release when that time is going to be for the early access beta and the beta. So I'm assuming that would be either late October to very early November, maybe the first week in November, the last week or 2
I can't imagine it's going to be too far in advance of the release.
Right. I mean, if they've delayed it that only 3 weeks, I mean, I don't know. Like, they obviously had something wrong with it that they think is going to take them that much time to fix. So I don't know why they would let them have a beta.
It's so weird though, because that's not in game dev time. That's not a whole lot of time.
I know.
I wonder what they're hoping to accomplish in 3 weeks that's going to be worth delaying it. Unless there's something that's really broken and like they know exactly what it is and they know how to fix it, but they needed a little bit of extra time. Like I could understand them delaying it like 2 months, because 2 months is a decent chunk of time. But yeah, 3 weeks, that's just a very strange, it's like, it doesn't feel like it's long enough to do anything, but it's long enough that people are going to be, I don't know if anybody's really upset. I don't usually get upset when games get delayed. This is easy for me to say because I wasn't planning on buying this because I don't have a console to play it on. But like, even I think, I'm trying to recall if Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed or not. I'm expecting it to get delayed. But if it does, I'm going to be okay with that because we're getting the game eventually. But that's just a weird stretch of time.
Rumors out per a Games Rant article, which I will link in the comments below, or in the description below, that says a rumor spread on Thursday that dropped the dates of October 6th for early access beta and October 8th for the full open beta. But we'll just have to wait and see if those dates are correct. That's just kind of what they're saying. To be rumored that would be. But from what I can tell, Freeman put out a tweet that said, quote, "Thanks to everyone who have sent their messages of support in the past 12 hours or so. It's deeply appreciated by all of us on the team. Love, #Battlefield." And then he says, "I'll be helping to answer questions as we move toward November 19th to help clarify below. Early access is the 12th of November. So obviously a lot of people have been giving them good comments and not like threatening to kill them like they have other people in the past. So that's good that at least the Battlefield.
Way to go, video gaming community.
We took a step in the right direction.
It's such a low bar. Oh my word.
Thumbs up for not threatening to murder people's families.
For delaying a video game.
Now, it coming out November 19th is right there with Halo coming out on the Xbox.
Really?
Yeah. So they're going to really be like head to head, to see who can.
See, I get that they're competitors, but also I feel like people would buy both because Halo is its own thing. I think
Halo's free to play.
Oh, that's true.
So
I forgot. Yeah.
So I guess my question would be, and Halo's only on Xbox and PC, where Battlefield's on all the systems and PC. So my question is, how many players are going to be, in your opinion, do you think more players will be on Battlefield or on Halo?
Oh, definitely.
Now, I wouldn't say sales because obviously if it's free to play for Halo, then
I'd say 100% Halo because
really
almost every, I guess I didn't take into account the fact
because you're taking up
PS5.
the entire PlayStation market.
Yeah, but just about everybody who has an Xbox is probably going to be playing Halo.
True.
And PC.
That is true.
And then also, but
what do you think about visuals and gameplay?
See, that's not. Oof, sorry. I just burped up a little bit more of that lime cold brew.
Did it taste like the puke you said?
No, I just got the lime.
Give you that nice little mouthfeel.
Just got the lime.
Pukiness.
Oof. Anyway,
moving on.
Graphics and gameplay. That I would give the edge of gameplay. Or did you say graphics and gameplay?
Gameplay and like visuals. Not necessarily graphics, but kind of what it looks like.
I would probably give both to Halo. If I'm just going off of previous experience, Battlefield has never looked bad. In fact, Battlefield has looked straight up beautiful in some times. But Halo, this goes back to my thing about identity. I love it when games have identity. Halo has identity. Like you can look at a screenshot of Halo and know that it's Halo. Just by the HUD, just by the enemies, everything. So
the worlds are beautiful too.
If they follow that, I'm just recalling, was it Halo 3 where you're driving up the ring and you just see it all stretch out in front of you? Like, is that Halo?
Where you're trying to escape the...
Yeah, I think it's One Final Effort from Halo 3.
Yeah. Well, because you do it in Halo 1 as well, I believe you're trying to escape. But Halo 3, I think, is the one where you're on like the falling, like... the tiles are falling out below you and you have to ramp at the end.
Sorry, that's still one of my favorite pieces of video game music of all time is the final mission of Halo 3.
Dude, the music is amazing in Halo. You just can't beat it.
So I'd probably give a slight edge to Halo in both of those categories. Visuals because identity and it just, I don't know. I've always liked the way Halo looks. And gameplay, I think the weapon play in Halo has always been really unique because you've got the Covenant weapons and then you've got the Spartans weapons, and they're so different. I don't know. That was always my favorite thing about playing with you was getting like the needle gun, because every time I got a Covenant weapon, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I get the cool weapons. Every time I got the needle gun, I got it's the only one that I can think of. Oh, energy sword. Clearly, I mean those are
my favorite was the Magnum.
Really?
I loved using it. I loved getting headshots with it. I always turned on the grunt birthday party. So you shoot the grunts in the head and just confetti. Yay! I mean, that was fun. Halo's just a great game. It's a fun time. Every time you hop in with players or in friends, it's just a blast. I would say the visuals would go to Halo as well. I think as far as gamers, I think there's going to be I'm going to say there's going to be more people, even though you have to buy it, that would be into Battlefield simply because of the whole PlayStation 5 market, but also
Yeah.
because Battlefield has been more relevant in the past few years
Also
than
true.
Halo has been. So, I mean, it depends too. I mean, if Halo hits this thing out of the park and it's a home run, then, I mean, we'll be able to tell when that time comes. But there's just so many good games coming out
Yeah.
this last stretch of the year that I'm so excited. And then the ones to come are amazing. But moving on, there's a rumor going on that's actually kind of becoming not so much a rumor anymore, that Quantum Dream is working on a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. So it says here from an article on Video Games Chronicle, and I'll link that below as well. It's posted by Andy Robinson, but it says Quantum Dream's next game will be based on the Star Wars IP, it's been claimed. That's according to French YouTuber, oh gosh, I'm going to butcher the name.
Hold on. I took two semesters of French. I can speak French totally. Completely, I can't. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Let me see. French YouTuber. Nope, I'm going to butcher it too. Gotos. Gotos or something.
Who claimed this week that Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain developer, helmed by designer David Cage, has signed a deal with Disney now that its 3-game contract with Sony has ended. They've now finished their contract with Sony, or sorry, this is quote, they now finished their contract with Sony and will be signing with Disney, he said in a video this week. Quote, it looks like they will be working on a Star Wars game, end quote. The claim was later corroborated by reliable games industry insider Tom Henderson, who posted a cryptic Star Wars and Detroit mashup on Twitter. So earlier this year, it says that Lucasfilm signaled that its Star Wars exclusivity deal with EA was over, or at least it was coming to an end by partnering with Ubisoft on a new open world game. So there's a lot of, credence, in my opinion, to this, especially Tom Henderson kind of putting up that matchup picture.
That's kind of the smoking gun at that point. Like,
right.
Why would you mash up those two games if there wasn't going to be something, if there wasn't some credence to that rumor?
And now I know you haven't played much of Detroit Become Human. You and Michaela started playing through it.
Both of us felt absolutely awful when, what's the android that belongs to the artist? He died. The way we played it, Marcus died. Like, just straight up got destroyed.
How?
He fought back. We had him fight back when they came in to take him away.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Are you going to ever play the game or no?
I probably should at some point. I'm just going
to spoil the next hour of the game for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Marcus is going to die no matter the choice you choose in that scenario.
Oh, okay. Oh, because he's like
he's the one that starts the revolution.
Got it.
So no matter what happens, he dies in that scenario. He goes to the dumpster or the graveyard or whatever where they throw all the androids, and you crawl out of that, of the landfill, and you start your revolution as Marcus. So he's gonna die no matter what choice you make. So yeah. Now I did kill. I killed a couple of my characters on accident. I got to the very end with one of them, and it was sad. Anyway, but
I feel like I probably should get back into this. But
knowing though the way that Detroit Become Human plays and like the choices that you have, the dialogue, the story, do you think that that's how they're going to go with this Star Wars game?
I mean,
because they already are going to have an open world with the Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, every game that Quantum Dreams?
Yeah.
I keep thinking Quantum Leap, but that's different. Quantum Dreams has released, I mean, Heavy Rain was that way. Detroit Become Human. Didn't they release another game that was the same thing?
Was it Life is Strange?
No, they're not Life is Strange. It says in here, it says, oh yeah, maybe it was just those two. Okay, well that just completely changed where I was. But I feel like every single game that they've released has kind of been like that. They did Beyond Two Souls. I never played Beyond Two Souls, so I have no idea.
Okay.
But I feel like they would, and especially because that style of game would fit so well in the Star Wars universe between the Sith and the Jedi. Like that makes total sense to be able to choose your path. It kind of reminds me of why everyone was so pumped for the Force Unleashed on
Oh,
Was that PSP
right.
first?
It came to the Wii.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But everybody was so pumped because you
Right.
could make your way. So this would be a more open version of that. I think it fits perfect.
I think it'd be amazing.
I have mixed feelings about David Cage as a developer, but
well, I would just love to watch or to be able to play a game like that.
Yeah.
That is, even if it was mainly Detroit Become Human, just reskinned as Star Wars, and you had lightsabers. Like, oh my goodness, could you imagine that? Like,
yeah, that could be really cool.
So I hope they do it because, like I said, we're already got Knights of the Old Republic remake where it's going to be more of an open world type of gameplay, which I'm super excited. I'm probably going to go ahead and play that on the Xbox. I'm probably going to go ahead and play the old version.
Oh,
play through it again.
Because I found out that my computer can run it too. My little dinky potato laptop.
Well, it is an old game.
It's very old, but I don't. I got too many other games to play.
Well,
but I really
we
want
got plenty of time before the remake comes out.
Well,
so
I'm also not going to be able to buy the remake right when it comes out. Well, actually, I might.
It's going to be
that
like
point.
2 years.
Yeah, I
years
might
from
by
now,
that point. I don't know.
But I would. That being said, with that game coming out, I'd be very intrigued of what they'll be able to do.
Yeah.
If they can make it more story driven like that, and you choose your path, and I wish the Telltale series would have come out with a Star Wars version.
Yeah.
Like, just the way that they did like with Batman, they did such a phenomenal job.
They could have done some cool things with Star Wars.
I wish they would have kept going with that series of Batman because it was one of my favorite Batman games of all time. Personally, I don't know how many people feel about that the same way as I do, but I loved it. I loved every second of those episodes. But
every time I hear about Quantum Dream, though, all I can think about the fact is that there's just so much creepy content in those games. Like Heavy Rain, people have hacked that game to find out that at some point the main character is like getting out of the shower. And so they hacked the game to figure out that he is fully modeled.
Oh, wow.
Every sense. And I'm like, guys, why? Why would you do that? Why would you? So I have really mixed feelings about David Cage as a developer because that stuff is in every game that studio releases. But, apparently they're really good games. So
they went above and beyond the Call of Duty to make sure that they had full thing in there, man. Like they got every last drop of that water in the shower.
Okay. All right. We can move on now.
I'd be excited though to see what they can do with Star Wars.
From a purely gameplay perspective.
Exactly. Just to, like I said, to choose your path, the light side, dark side, become a gray Jedi. Oh my gosh.
That kind of gameplay fits really well in the Star Wars mythos. Like Star Wars has created such a vast universe at this point that you can set a story in it and it just makes sense and it just works. So they'll have a lot of creative freedom.
Right. So moving on to Nintendo side of things, from
that's me.
PlayStation,
I can do
Star
that.
Wars, PC, Xbox to Nintendo.
Hey, shush. Nintendo is fine.
Nintendo is awesome. Nintendo is huge. I mean, they're one of the top three.
Yeah, it's the big three. I would say they're also one of the most creative companies I would say they used to be. Lately, they've been kind of leaning into the more safe territory. Splatoon was the last big risk they took, and Splatoon went really well.
I want to play Mario Golf. I mean, I
forgot that's what you were excited about. My brother bought WarioWare Get It Together, and we've been playing that a little bit when I go over to visit. It's so much fun. I love WarioWare, and it's like multiplayer now, and you can play together, and it's so chaotic. If you haven't played WarioWare, it's not a great game to play by yourself. I played a couple rounds by myself, not nearly as fun as playing with someone else, but it's so much fun to play with someone else. So, random game recommendation, but that's not what we're talking about. We have another leak. So I feel like we've been talking a lot about leaks and rumors, which I always hesitate about because as we learned from the Switch OLED, leaks don't necessarily mean anything. But this would be interesting. So apparently rumors have been swirling. This is a comicbook.com, Mark Deschamps on comicbook.com. Over the last week, rumors have been swirling about a new controller in the works for Nintendo Switch. At this time, very little information is known, but prominent leaker Samus Hunter at Samus Hunter 2 has revealed a new update on the controller. It won't feature NFC support. And the world let out a collective meh, because I don't think anybody cares about Amiibo anymore. And Amiibo's a weird... So that's what NFC is used for. It's, the touch point thing. A lot of phones have it. A lot of the Switch Pro controller had it, as well as the Joy-Cons. And Amiibos use NFC to add content to games. And right when Amiibos released, there's a weird shortage of them. They didn't make enough. And it was so hard to find an Amiibo for so long. But also people were posting
pictures. For those
pictures.
who don't know, what's an Amiibo?
It's a little figurine. It's like, do you remember Skylanders?
Right.
It's that, but with Nintendo characters. It's a little figurine. You tap it on, it gives you an extra thing.
For the listeners, I know exactly.
People were posting pictures and videos of their Amiibo collection, and nobody was taking them out of the boxes because they're like, I have to keep them pristine. So nobody was using the NFC to begin with.
Oh.
And there's been some functionality, but it's never been much. The most recent example of NFC functionality was if you bought the Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo with Skyward Sword, you could unlock the ability to warp back to the sky from anywhere in the game. Which, why would you lock that feature behind an Amiibo, Nintendo? Like, you're releasing an enhanced port of the game that does really basically nothing. Just put that in the game. It's a WND. But I think the thing that intrigued me about this leak was not the lack of NFC. That doesn't make sense. Hopefully, actually, though, that'll make it cheaper because the Switch Pro controller costs $80, which is ridiculous. But there's a rumor circulating that it might be based on an N64 controller because of the rumors circulating that Nintendo's going to add N64 games to Switch Online. Now, I know we just talked about them adding Game Boy games. To me, adding Game Boy games is a lot more likely than them adding N64 games. Simply because Nintendo just sold us Mario 64 for $60. They're not going to give us N64 games for free for that subscription, that really reasonable subscription. That's the weird thing to me, is they charge $60 for bare bones ports, but they're only charging $20 a year for the entire catalog of SNES and NES games. It's not like necessarily they're a greedy company. It's just weird. But so the rumor is that the controller is going to be based around N64 because of N64 games. I personally don't think N64 games are going to come to Switch Online. I could see Game Boy games coming. I just think it's funny though, if they do release an N64 controller, the N64 controller is such a weird controller. And a lot of people didn't like it.
Holding that thing is
it feels
confusing.
So it was designed to have different holding modes for different types of games. So if you're playing a first-person shooter, you're supposed to hold the left outcropping and the middle one, because the stick was here, so you could use the stick to move around and then use the control pad. But then you had no access to the face buttons.
Or the trigger button to hit
well, you had the back trigger. On the middle one, because it had a back trigger. It's such a weird controller. I don't think it would be a good idea for them to release. Well, it might be though, because people will buy it because nostalgia. So
nostalgia's huge.
And this is where I differ from a lot of Nintendo gamers my age. I didn't have an N64. I completely skipped that generation. I had a Super Nintendo and I had a GameCube. I did not have an N64. So I have no nostalgic connection to the N64 controller or those games. Why I don't care for Mario 64. So I don't think it would be a good idea, but I think people would still buy it.
Oh yeah, nostalgia's huge. Again, if Xbox would have taken the Xbox Series X or S and put that into an original Xbox console looking thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
people would have lost their minds.
People would have gone crazy. And I feel like a lot of people would have bought it even if they bumped the price up $200. Because it's nostalgia. It's just a casing. It's just a plastic casing. I'm sure someone could make one. I'm sure someone could.
They should have put it in the original 360 casing so you could get the red ring of death again.
Oh,
I watched a great video as to why that kept happening. It was all due to the console design.
Yeah, I got one that gave me a red ring.
Yep. Way to go, Microsoft. But anyway, this is another rumor. People have been talking about N64 games on Switch Online for a while now. I don't think it's going to happen, in which case I don't think this controller is going to be an N64 controller. I think it's just going to be another...
But you think it's going to actually be... there's going to be a new controller?
I don't know. I really hesitate to believe leaks, especially when it's one source. Maybe this person has been reliable in the past, but... the problem is it doesn't make sense for them to release another controller unless it's an N64 for N64 games. So if they're not adding it, no, it doesn't make sense to be one. Now, It would be cool if we got a budget version of the Switch Pro controller that was a little cheaper. So,
Okay.
because I'm not going to pay $80 for a controller, but I
Right.
love the Switch Pro controller. My family has one, and I use it all the time when I'm home to play games on their Switch. It's a great controller. It feels nice. It's got a nice premium feel to it, but it's $80.
You know what would be super cool? If they came out with an upgraded Nintendo Switch.
Instead of just a controller. They just released the SWOLED. They're not going to give it. No, don't you dare.
The
Don't.
joke, but the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to go there. You go there every time.
I do. Well, no, and it's also a joke because the OLED is not an upgrade, really.
It really isn't.
It's like
the kickstand is like, I don't know. I actually looked at it now. I was making fun of it way back at the first episode, but the kickstand is like this full, like fold out thing. I don't understand that. And it's $50 more than the base model. It's $350 for the SWOLED. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Oh, also you can hardwire it in. So for all of you hardcore online gamers, you can get good internet with your Switch. You can
there
actually,
hardcore gamers that hardcore game on a Switch?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Switch does not come across to me like man, let's go crazy in Call of Duty tournaments. Grab your Switch.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't think there's a Call of Duty game on the Switch. Is there?
No, I don't think so.
There's Fortnite. You can play Fortnite. Yeah. Anyway, so I personally don't think if there's going to be a controller, it's gonna be some weird gimmick. I think it would make sense for them to release a downgraded version of the Switch Pro, but I just don't think that that's what's Nintendo going to do. So we're going to get a Nintendo Direct hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see if anything comes of it, but
Yeah.
I'm skeptical.
Keep it here to find out whether or not we get the N64 controller or a brand new Switch, or if they just keep doing WNDs, weird Nintendo decisions.
If that happens, I'll watch the Nintendo Direct because that's the only one that's applicable to me right now. But
hopefully they do an upgrade to Mario Golf.
do you even have Mario Golf?
No,
So why do you care?
because I want to get
Well, why
it.
do I care about Battlefield? I don't have Battlefield. I'm not going to be able to get Battlefield.
So last deal of the day, I want to know, we are in October. A lot of games are coming out this year. What's the game that you are most excited for that's coming out in the future, and what game are you most excited for that's coming out this year?
For the future, definitely KOTOR. 100%. That I've never played the game before, but I've heard so much about it that to see a full-on remake done, and also it's a game that I might actually be able to play because at launch, because by that point I might have a new console. I just think I'm just really excited for it. I think it looks really, really cool.
I agree. I'm the same with you on that. Wolverine also is super excited. Well, actually, if this becomes true, if this other Star Wars game comes true, that's gonna rival for me between that and KOTOR, depending on what they talk about. Because I love story. I love story games like that.
I'd still probably put KOTOR over that just because I've never cared for the more narrative driven. Like I like good stories, but I don't like it when that's the driving force of the game. I like having a little bit of action too.
So we'll see with that coming out. But what about the ones that coming out this year are you most excited for? If someone goes just through the game and said, here you go, play it. You tell us what you think.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to say because again, I don't have a next gen console. But oh boy, this year is what are we're talking Battlefield, we're talking Halo, we got Deathloop coming out soon. I would probably still say Deathloop out of the ones that we've talked about. I know I just love that mechanic. I know it's been shoved in a lot of people's faces. I was reading an online discussion about how sick people are of hearing about Deathloop. I just think it looks really cool. But is Forbidden West coming out this year?
I think that got delayed till next year.
You're right. Yeah, it did. So never mind. I never even beat the first one. That's another one that's on my backlog. But yeah, I'd probably say Deathloop.
I'm excited for Deathloop, but I'm definitely 100% on Battlefield. And Deathloop actually is released.
Oh, it's fully released.
I thought it was
released.
I thought it came out last week.
I thought it was like in a beta test, but you're right. It got released. Way to go, me. I'm on a gaming news podcast and I didn't know when this stupid game released.
I looked it up because I was like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe all these people got it way early for some reason. And then I looked
It
up.
wouldn't surprise me.
It was released. But yeah, I'm excited for Battlefield 2042. I'm just so pumped, and missing out on the alpha, and the way I missed out on the alpha just sucked.
Single tier.
I tried for
Rolls
the
down his
Xbox
face.
Series X version, and for whatever reason, it wasn't ready. It wasn't able to be put out. So,
Oh, wait. Yeah, you got selected. I forgot about this.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but we will go with you saying that. Yes, we'll go with that. I'm just kidding. I don't know if it matters anymore.
Am I going to get
They
killed?
don't watch this show. Yes, I got selected.
Guys,
and
don't kill me.
they were like, hey, what do you want? PlayStation, PC, Xbox? And I'm like, I'll go Xbox instead of PlayStation. Mistake. And then they were like, oh, wait, what? Yeah, no, I might have gone PlayStation. I don't know. Whatever one I went with, they were like, oh, sorry, that's not ready. Haha. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, stay tuned. We might give you another one. I'm like, okay. And nothing. So that sucked. It was a big bummer. I was all in the forums with everybody. We were all just complaining and crying in our tears. You know, it was fine. It was fine.
Wow.
But no, I'm excited for that game in spite of what happened to me. I take it personally, but you know, it's going to be great. I'm excited. So,
I will love it with bitterness deep within my soul.
I think it was PlayStation, and that's why I'm getting it on Xbox, and that's why I'm going to get on Xbox now. So
it'll be nice and cool in your little fridge here.
It'll be great. It'll be fun.
It'll be amazing.
So those are our games that we're excited for. Comment down below what you guys are excited for. The games that are coming out, that are going to come out, rumored to come out, all of those different things. Let us know what you guys think of coffee. Go get this.
It's not better. I'm sorry, I tried it again. It's not better.
Why would you try that one when you have a beautifully 8.5 point coffee right here?
Because I bought this stupid thing and I feel like I need to just, it's so gross.
How much did you pay for that?
99 cents. That's why I got it, because it was $1. I was like, we have to try it.
That's not the reason to get coffee, especially from Aldi. Like, don't get it from Aldi.
I love Aldi. Don't you dare diss Aldi. It's my favorite grocery store.
Get dissed, Aldi.
I actually really like Aldi. Oh, man. I have such a chaotic energy today. I'm so happy.
That coffee was so bad.
It was so bad.
What was the other one you got?
It was Delos Cafe. So if you live in northern Indiana.
So it's a local. It's
local. Yeah, it's completely local. But
well, hit us up for $50. We'll send you guys your own little bag.
Yeah. Give us your home address.
It was
frosted pumpkin roll from Delos Cafe.
Nice.
Yeah. They got a stand set up in the farmer's market every week.
See, this was great. How much did this cost?
It was about, I think it was about like $4.50.
$4.50
for a quarter pound.
For a quarter pound, which can make quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's beans that you grind yourself. There's a reason you pay more than 99 cents for a gosh darn cup of coffee.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a 0.51 and a 8.5 cup of coffee.
He's never going to let me pick the coffee again.
Hey, I picked the King's Brew. So
and I picked this one too.
We're both done. No, you picked the best coffee and arguably the worst, but not technically the worst because it wasn't decaf.
We reached the highest highs and the lowest lows this week.
But comment down below what you guys think of coffee and what type of coffee is your favorite, especially what video game you guys are looking forward to. Keep it right here for all your guys' gaming news. And we hope you guys have a great Thursday. Watch a lot of football, drink lots of coffee, play lots of games. Have a good one, guys.